Welcome, race fans, and tonight is the night. 21 races has came down to the deciding factor. You have got three going to be battling it out for the Relentless Racing League Xfinity Championship. That's going to be Ed Morris, Brandon Schaefer, and Brandon Banks. And unfortunately, Mr. Hendricks will not be joining us tonight, so Ed is a two versus one, north south versus Drinking Bros Racing. Tony, it's been a heck of a season so far, man. How do you expect anything different?
Nah, a little smaller field tonight than we're used to, but I think it's going to be a great race.
It being at Dover, I think you're right on that one. I think it's gonna be pretty, as you say, spicy. But they fought all season long. Let's see if right now if we can get Brandon Schaefer down here, one of the four drivers who's actually making a shot at the championship. All right, let's see if we can get Schaefer down here and have a word with him. He's one of the three battling it out. Schaefer, you've been at the top majority of this season, but it's all coming down to this. It ain't about how points are out the window, man. It's just coming down to driving.
Yeah, been a good season. I'm actually excited to be at Dover. I actually enjoy Dover, so it's gonna be a good fun race.
Well, you've kind of got an edge advantage here. You've got a teammate here. Unfortunately, Ed does not have one. You think that's going to come into a major factor?
I don't know. I know me and Banks are teammates, but it's I wouldn't say it's every man for himself, but in the last race, the teammate thing kind of goes out the window. But no, I'll take care of him. He'll take care of me. But like 10, 12 laps to go, it's all gloves off. Our gloves are off, and it's every man for himself.
Well, that's wasn't expected any other way, really. I mean, y'all worked together. Y'all both got each other up here, and here we go. So, I mean, you're playing for Dover. I mean, long run, short run. How you think it's going to play out?
Um, with the fuel mileage that we can do, it's going to be uh, I'm going to try to make it as long run as I can, but it's you can only go so many laps on fuel, so we'll have to play the fuel mileage game if you know what I mean. But I think it'll be a green flag race for the most part, man. I don't see a lot of cautions in the near future, but who knows? It could be a caution fest, but I don't think it will be honestly.
Well, I mean, we're going to shoot you back up there and let you and Banks kind of get something figured out on how y'all going to play this.
All right, brother. I appreciate y'all.
Tony, he seems a little bit confident, but a little hesitant.
Yeah, it's one of those races that anything can happen. You're just hoping to have a chance at the end, not get caught up in somebody else's mistakes.
All right, let's see if we can drag Banks down here.
Was
Brandon Banks, you're in
yes,
it.
there was, yeah, here we are.
Well, what's your plan for it?
Uh, I don't know, honestly. I'd like to start off by trying to qualify closer to the front. I think passing's going to be a little sketchy for the first couple laps, but if we can get a good starting start, that'll be good for starters. Uh, I don't know. It's hard to tell with these races. Sometimes they go green and they're great races, and sometimes they're caution after caution. So I'm hoping everybody kind of comes in here and is super patient. And we can actually have a really good race tonight.
Well, you planning for a long green flag run or a short one?
Well, I think if it goes long, I think it'll benefit me more. Schaefer's pretty fast on the short run. I know Morris is he tends to be more quicker on the short run as well. So I don't know. I think for here, the long run would probably benefit me more. But I don't know. With the fuel limits in this league, it doesn't really help me as much as it does in some of the other leagues. So we'll see. We'll try to just if we can get up front and try to at least just manage position and just be there at the end.
Well, that's a very interesting comment you made there, manage position. We were talking a little bit earlier with Schaefer, and we foresee it being pretty difficult to pass.
Yeah.
What are you thinking there?
I think initially it may be. It probably just depends on who you're around. You know, some of these guys are a little more give and take than others. So I think if you just if you can just make the passes and don't eat up your tires while you're trying to do and run side by side for too long with anybody, it'll benefit you in the long run. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This race is a lot of fun. I really like this track. I really hope we all kind of come out here and just race with our heads on and just have a really good race.
All right, man, we're gonna shoot you back up there and let y'all kind of dictate a plan on how y'all gonna play this out.
All right, guys, I appreciate it.
But Tony, I think it's like you said, it's really gonna come down to who can get around who.
Yeah, I think track position is going to be huge here just because of the fact that it's really difficult to get off the corner if you're side by side. You need that whole track to carry any speed off the corner. So you get side by side, somebody's going to have to give, otherwise you're going to end up in the wall.
Yeah, that's somewhere you don't want to be, is in the wall. Well, we're going to give a quick little shout out to a couple of our sponsors for the season, and when we get back, we're going to talk with Ed Morris Jr. and see how his take is being one man down with a teammate.
It's been the first thing that's really worked for me to put me to sleep.
Helps relax me when I'm trying to go to bed.
All just really spectacular.
It also helps you put yourself into a routine.
I feel like I'm drinking lemonade. You guys give it a shot.
It works! It works! It's good!
Just try it.
Yank Ed Morris up here. Ed, you got a copy?
Yeah, man, I got you.
Well, you're a championship teammate down, but how you feeling about Dover tonight?
Pretty good. I like it here. It's a fast track. You know, it's just this is a track you can't make mistakes at, so it's going to be at a high stress level. So I mean, especially getting on the pit road and just nailing your corner exits so you don't plow down that wall. So it'll be tough every lap.
Well, looking at your practice times, looking like you're going to have a really good chance at the pole. You think that's going to be a pretty big deal, or you think it's not going to be that big of an issue?
Yeah, I mean, if a guy could start up front, you know, at least start on that front row, it'd be really nice to start on pole and get that launch, you know, and kind of just see how the first run goes. You know, it's that that first run before the stage is kind of always your test run to kind of see what whether you need to run it harder or you didn't run it hard enough. So it'd be nice to be out front, be in clean air, and see what we can do and see how we match up with the other championship 4.
Well, you say 4, but it's only 3 as Davies hung up in Daytona due to weather. So
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
you're
that's
gonna have
unfortunate.
you're gonna have to make new friends to help you get through it.
Yeah, no kidding.
But man, we're gonna send you back down there north south. Let y'all kind of figure out what you got going, man. Best of luck to all 3 of y'all tonight.
Well, I appreciate it.
Tony, I think it's came down to it. I mean, we've had a pretty wild season so far, and I really wouldn't expect too much different out of it.
Yeah, it should be pretty good. I think I don't think it's going to be very wild, honestly. I think it's going to be more of a mind your P's and Q's till the end and see what happens from there.
We got about 8 minutes before we take it green, and those times right now they're all sitting about mid 23s. You think that's going as far as with the track temperature? You think that's going to affect it too much? I said it was a fuel mileage race more than a tire race.
I don't think it's going to be that much. The track is going to change as it rubbers in. The car is going to handle a little differently in the corners. It's all about how you can adjust to that. If you got to give up a little bit of speed on entry, so be it. You want as much speed on exit as you can get, but there's also a fine line before you spin that thing out, giving it too much throttle.
High lane, low lane, where's the preferred running at for you?
If I'm by myself, I'm running the bottom. Kind of a little diamond in the middle of the corner and then turning it back down to the bottom to drive off. If I'm side by side, I'm probably going to want that higher line. That prevents the person on the inside from getting a good drive off the corner, and you're going to have more momentum. So I think it's going to be situational. But yeah, I feel like if you're side by side, you're really going to want to. The high line is going to be the defensive line.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've waited all season for this one right here. When I saw it on the schedule, Dover being the championship race, it kind of puts it at a skill driving track. So the 3 that's fighting for it are really going to test their skill tonight.
Yeah, Dover's definitely one of those tracks that is not it's not your cookie cutter track. It's one of those that you got to be able to drive. If you make a mistake, it's going to cost you. So it's really going to be about who can be consistent and who can conserve tires.
This whole week is going to be jammed packed. It's all 4 championship series are taking place this week, so guys are going to be busy.
Yes, sir. It's going to be good. End of the season is always fun. We start crowning champions for the individual series. We start seeing who's got it, right? We're going to see, we're also going to see who's going to be moving up next season to the different respective series. We're going to have Xfinity drivers moving to Cup. We're going to have ARCA and truck drivers moving to Xfinity, and then we're going to have a whole new breed of drivers in the lower series. We're going to have a few people that choose to stay in those series. So this is always a really interesting time within the league to see what the future is going to look like. The Cup Series this season, we had a kind of a smaller car count. We only had, on a consistent basis, I would say about 22 drivers. Right now, it's looking like we're going to have about 35 next season. So we're always changing. Drivers are moving up. Some drivers choose to move down. It's always evolving around here, and it's always interesting to see how it all shakes out in the end.
Well, these guys don't have to. They don't have to win. They just have to finish higher than each other. And when you put another 20 cars on the track, it can get interesting because your fate's not necessarily in your hands.
Yep. Tonight the stage is at 60, but for our championship drivers, that means absolutely nothing. It's all where you finish. Whatever championship driver finishes in front of the other ones is our championship winner. Stage just kind of throws another element into it for these guys strategy-wise, and also the other guys who are just racing for a win.
I think it's going to be survivability.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the safest place here is to be up front, right? If our championship drivers qualify up front, they're kind of sitting in a good spot. If you mess up your qualifying laps here, you're really gonna have some issues, because now you're kind of just stuck behind drivers who have nothing to lose.
Yeah, uphill battles, so you don't really want to start out in the hole. You want to kind of be on the positive side of it.
Yeah, you want to take, you don't want anybody else to have input on your potential championship. So I think qualifying is going to be huge here tonight.
So on your qualifying, I'm not experienced near as much as Dover as you are. But, in your qualifying lap, you want to have that hot lap. But, man, the way the tires are, do you want to have that hot lap running to the top, or, you're going to keep it to the median or to the bottom?
So what I think we're going to see for qualifying is the drivers are either going to pick the first lap or the second lap to be their fast lap. Whichever lap they choose coming to that lap, they're going to go to the very high line in 4 to carry as much momentum as they can, turn down to the bottom right on corner exit, and keep that thing floored. You carry a lot of speed down the straightaway, and you can gain a lot of time coming to take the green, for that lap. And then you're going to go hit your normal line going into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But you can really generate a lot of momentum, kind of just ripping that high lane, coming to your preferred qualifying lap. Me personally, I'm going to do it on the first lap, because that way if I make a mistake going into turn 1, I can go wide again in 3 and 4 and try it again on the second lap.
Got about a minute and a half before we're going to find out. I mean, we know who the ones to watch. We know we're going to be watching Schaefer, Banks, and Morris. But there's other drivers that's pretty strong here at Dover that could get their first win here.
Oh, absolutely. Well, just looking at the practice times, Brandon Park, he's out of the championship 4. Didn't make it past the round of 8, but he's got the fastest time in practice. By a pretty good number here, in terms of Dover. He's got 0.04 of a second on the second fastest car. So he's one that may be in contention. Josh Van Goor's sitting up there. Greg Rogers, he's been fast pretty much everywhere. There's quite a few drivers here tonight that are going to be really looking for that win. They're out of the playoffs. They're just going for the checkered flag tonight, getting that win, and start their next season with some momentum.
Well, speaking of Greg, he's one that major fan favorite, and just heartbreak this season. Everything that went wrong could have went wrong, but he survived it as long as he could.
Yeah, Greg had that one race, I don't recall which road course it was, where he was faster than everybody, and then made that one mistake on pit road and cost him the whole race. So
that would have been Indy.
Indy Road. Yep.
Oh, and there's Mr. Bobby Rafferty.
Surprise! I'm like a ninja.
But that's he's been looking for redemption. He missed a race in the playoffs, which kind of took him out of it. He had to win, I think, last week to get in, and he didn't win, obviously, so he got eliminated. But he's out there. He's out there for that W.
How many we got on the field? 20. It looks like we got about 21 out there. So got 18 other people that's going to decide your championship fate's pretty much in their hands, especially if it starts getting sloppy or aggressive towards the end of it.
Yeah, and I think that, like we said before, that's why that qualifying is going to be so important. You don't want to be back in the pack when it does start getting sloppy. You want to be out front where there's nothing else around you, and if somebody makes a mistake, it's behind you. You don't get caught up in it.
Watching right now is Greg Rogers as we was talking to him, see what kind of lap time he can put down. He looks like he's kind of running that middle to low like he was talking about, Tony.
Yeah, I think his first lap is kind of his throwaway lap, judging by the line he's running. If he goes really high, no, he's not really running that high. This might be his timed lap.
What I noticed out there practicing, which is a lot different from what we've seen, is usually that first lap, like you said, Tony, is your throwaway lap. Here, it is not. Here, your money lap is that first lap, and then you'll usually fall off about a half a tenth-ish on that second lap once you get heat in the tires.
I'll tell you what I do see, though, is I see Greg, he ran a little higher on his first lap, and then he ran almost on the bottom his second lap. As we see Ed Morris come in with a 23.2.
That was his first lap.
And that's 2/10 faster than his practice time. So I think that kind of shows you the track is changing, and it looks like it's getting faster.
It is. This track is so fast. I'm praying that the weather stays the same for the Cup race, because if it does, it's going to be a lot of fun.
I heard there might be rain in the forecast, so you never know.
I tell you, I hope it doesn't stay like this, because that track temp is 102, and the next gen cars do not like that much heat in the track.
Yeah, I'm just saying grip level wise. If we can get the grip level that the Xfinity car has right now, I'll be a very happy camper. I've been practicing on a 120-degree track, so trust me, I've been cursing this place, going, where are the water trucks flooded?
But you know what? You tell all your friends Xfinity race don't come on for a while. I think it's actually starting now. But you know what? I think this is going to be a better Xfinity race than what you're going to see on Fox. So ditch FS1 and come on over here to SBRN. I'm going to show you how Relentless Racing does it.
Well, and looking at practice times, I think we've seen all of our fast guys go. I think our top 5 is pretty well set. Might get one that trickles in there, but I don't think we're gonna see any change really. Brandon Schaefer and Banks are both able to get down to the 23 threes, but no, I don't think anybody's touching Ed Morris's time.
And as of right now, just looking through, because I'm weird like this and I like looking at these type of stats. Former track record here was a 23.443 by Alex Forget. So we're looking at how many people have already broken that track record. I'm going to say at least the top
4 for sure.
Top 4, maybe top 6 have broken that track record.
Yeah.
So we got a very, very fast track tonight.
Well, as they're getting ready to start it, we're going to give a shout out to the National Anthem 3 more times. We're going to hear it from, I forgot who they were, but we'll be right back to Green Flag Race, and stage 1 is going to be 60. It is going to be a wild 150 lap race, y'all. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming,
whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Last race, we will hear that for the Xfinity as we are changing it for next season. So make sure y'all tuned in, as a whole lot of stuff's going to be changing. Well, Morris, Schaefer, Banks, 3 playoff drivers. They've got the 1, 2, 3, so they are where they want to be. They ain't got to worry about traffic. But man, you've got all the way. Let's see, wind up with 22. So 18 cars looking to get a win tonight, along with the championship drivers.
And I'm gonna be curious because you know, Schaefer was talking about, or Banks was talking about fuel, and these guys have 4 additional sets of tires. The fuel runs somewhere around 52 laps if iRacing is correct today. So if the tires are not falling off that bad, tires are not going to be a factor. If they're able to run a full fuel run, tires really will not be a factor. But if tires are a factor, how is that going to change, you know, the outcome, the strategy of this race?
Stick, I think.
Well, and it kind of makes me wonder, you know, I think we will see differing strategies tonight. I think we're going to see, you know, the ones that have nothing to lose, maybe they go for that, you know, go use those tires up to see if they can, you know, catch a caution, or, you know, a desperation move by one of our championship drivers who's kind of, you know, fallen back or got off strategy or something like that. So I think there will be definitely some strategy involved tonight, and we'll see. We'll see how these tires wear, what kind of lap times they run, if they're able to run a full fuel run while still keeping that car out of the wall.
What we fix to find out as that green flag drops for the last race of the season.
Brandon Park kind of got into the wall right on the straightaway on the launch. Didn't hurt the car at all, but got a drag race side by side into turn 3 here.
Yeah, and both of these drivers knows what at stake right now.
Yeah, but I think they also got to realize it's a long race, so you don't want to put yourself in a bad spot this early either. So probably not going to battle too hard for that this early. Ed Morris able to make the pass and clear Brandon Schaefer.
And one thing I noticed, the car got, the only critique I would have been yelling at the crew chief about tonight was it was getting really tight coming off of turn 4, which that wall jumps out and bites you on a perfect setup. So you have a little bit of tightness in the car. That's really going to go ahead and affect you, especially, you know, running side by side like that. So I think we saw that with Schaefer just backing off and going, you know what, caution is the better part of valor here. Let's just settle in.
And you talk about that. I also noticed that. and I noticed it got worse as the rubber got laid down. I don't know if that will continue to worsen throughout the night, or if it will kind of equalize, or if it will get better. But you really got to change your line to prevent that tightness off the turn 4. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in the wall, as we see the 95 in the wall, and I believe I can't tell if that's a 30 or. Yeah, that was a 30th. That they both kind of just followed each other into the wall. Which we'll probably see that a lot tonight, especially as these tires wear.
Absolutely. I mean, everybody talks about the Dover or the Darlington stripe. The Dover
49,
stripe is definitely
big,
a
the wall
thing
off
too.
forward.
Yeah, it looks like right now, and he's talking about tires. Morris.
Yeah, he's pulled a huge gap. Everybody's kind of spaced out. There's a little group of like 3 cars, kind of back here on the 8th, 9th, and 10th spot. But other than that, it's pretty well spaced out.
Yeah, them 3 right there. You know, you got Riggs, Broswell, and Maines. You know, Riggs came in strong going through the playoffs. Fortunately, everything didn't go in his favor, but you know what? He's looking to pick up a win here. That'd be good momentum going into next season.
Well, and if I know Riggs, he's just being conservative right now. He's not pushing his car. He's in it for the long run. Where, say, the 95, I've been seeing him push his car just about every lap.
It makes you wonder, though, if Morris is actually saving tires, or if he's burning them, or if Schaefer and Banks are actually just saving and setting back, especially almost a 2-second gap within, 10 laps?
Well, I will say this. They can't make the full fuel run, or the full stage on a fuel run, so they're going to have to pit. So maybe that's part of Ed's strategy, is he's going to push early on to keep that track position, come in maybe a little bit early to get that set of tires. Where the other guys may try to stretch it a little bit. Maybe a little conservative right now.
So far, so green, and 140 left. It's still going to be a long race before we figure out who's going to be the champion. Not seeing too many battles. You got a little one right here between Holman, Hastings, and Sylvian. You figure after 22 races we'd get some of these names right.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that I don't think I'll ever be able to get their names right.
That same.
We're gonna have to have and actually, you know, something we could do. We need to have a channel where everybody spells out their last name, how you spell it.
Yeah, sound it out for the Americans, please.
Well, that's one name I can say right there, Jersey Devil, coming in with the follow. So we appreciate that. Welcome joining the championship race here at Dover with Relentless Racing League.
Jersey love right there. I like it.
He may not be a Jersey fan. You can't assume that no more.
Hey, Jersey Devil. We could be talking about the Jersey Devil. We could be talking about the New Jersey Devils sports team. I'm liking my odds here.
Tell you what, that 95 and that 30 have been kind of going at it quite a bit. See the 30 hit the wall. '95 will get underneath him. 30 will battle back on that outside line.
Bobby, it looks like the odds might have been in your favor because he said, let's go Jersey. So
there you go. Jersey represent. I love it.
Probably a Patriots fan, too.
No. No, if they're from Jersey, more than likely they're a Jets or Giants fan if they're from North Jersey, or they're an Eagles fan if they're from South Jersey.
George.
We know how to say your name, John.
Oh, I'll tell you what, guys. 95 and 30 ain't gonna have nothing left of their right side cars at stage. I'll give it to them. They are driving the dog out of these cars.
Yeah, I think we saw the 30 lift a little bit there because he was definitely going to get in the wall. That gave the 95 the opportunity to get underneath and make the pass. See how much how hard he drive. Ooh, crossover.
Look, everybody in chat's wanting to be a comedian now. Oh, he's a Cowboys fan, Bobby.
Ooh. Disowned. He's brave being a Cowboys fan in Jersey. You have every Giants fan coming at you with pitchforks.
Fornes says that's not how you say his name. Fornestar 5,000.
Forn, water barrels, it's all the same.
Oh, 30 in the wall pretty hard. Got really tight on exit of 4. Going to give up 2, maybe 3 positions.
Devils, Mets, Cowboys. I'm an embarrassment to the area. Nah, not really.
You got Sylvian's going up and down. He almost lost it going to the wall right there.
I'm surprised though at how stretched out some of these guys are. I figured the field would be a little tighter. Chad.
I just saw that.
But I will say it looks like Schaefer is kind of closing that gap on Ed Morris. Down to 1.4 seconds at the line last time.
Slowly but surely.
1.3, getting about a tenth a lap it looks like.
Big thing here though is I really do think that track position is going to be key. Catching them is going to be one thing. Passing them at this place is going to be a totally different story.
Yeah, if you don't clear them before the exit of the corner, you might as well just forget about the position.
The only place that I think you could realistically do it would be out of 2. Out of 4, I think it's a death nail for both cars.
Yeah, it definitely gets really tight off of 4. Ooh, Ed in the wall. That's going to slow him up a bit. Lost 3/10 that lap.
Yeah, and Schaefer's within a second of him. So all that work that Schaefer or Morris put into pretty much just got slammed into the wall.
But you know, it's a 60 lap stage, so maybe Ed's planned to do that, and he's going to come in at lap, somewhere around lap 30 and get some fresh tires. Maybe he's just learning how hard he can push that car right now. Back to about a tenth a lap now. I think he really lost a lot of time when he got in the wall off of 4.
Yeah, this track definitely has those sticky walls like we saw at Homestead.
He actually gained some time this last lap. About half a tenth, about half a tenth. But it's a tenth and a half the next lap, so Schaefer and Banks are definitely reeling him in. Doesn't look like anybody else behind them. Their gap's staying pretty consistent, it looks like.
Well, I got a battle now between Park and Rogers, and they've been duking it out the past few laps.
Oh, Schaefer is there. 3 car lengths.
He is able to get through the center of the corner and off the corner.
Yeah, that looks like where he's gaining is on exit of the corner. That's where he's closing it up.
Especially here in turn 4. But I also noticed that Schaefer is running kind of like a diamond line, which is really helping his exit speed.
Absolutely. Able to keep it wound up. Ed's going to move up. Try to play defense here. I just don't know if there's anything there. I don't think he's got enough tire left to do it.
That's one thing right there. You know, you talked about the tire, whether he was using it or not, and also that scuff up on the wall. You know, that could be having that car fight against him a little bit.
Yeah, Ed had to get on the brakes hard there, coming off the corner. That car did not want to turn for him whatsoever. Battling back here on the bottom, or at least trying to.
He had to lift there quite a bit, though, on exit of 2. You could just see Banks close in on him pretty quick. Got a pretty good run, able to maintain on exit of 4.
That being said, Ed is a very, very cagey driver. I'll guarantee you he's going to learn from what happened this stage and apply it for the rest of the race.
I fully expect Ed to short pit here. I mean, looking at the fall off, I think he almost has to and hope this thing stays green to the end. I mean, he was down to 25 3s, 25 4s when he started off at 23 4s. So we're talking 2 seconds a lap versus Schaefer, who's 25 O's. So he's losing about half a second a lap, a little less than half a second a lap right now. So I don't know if, I mean, everybody's going to have to pit, right? But if you pit early, you're going to go at least a lap down, probably more like 2. It's a risk, because if the caution comes out, you're kind of stuck.
Yep.
I don't foresee that happening. Looks like everybody's pretty well spaced out right now. So
Speaking
maybe
Greg Rogers actually came in the pits and did lose that 1 lap.
Yeah. Rosso 2 laps down. But they also have no money up here, and he was struggling in practice, so he could potentially kind of get in the way of these guys. Looking at how far Ed is falling back, I mean, what do you do? I mean, for me, if I'm falling off that hard, I'm going to pit road.
Yeah, I'd be going to pit road here very, very soon.
These guys are still going to pit, and they're probably going to stay out at the stage with, you know, they can run the full 52 laps. They'll come in, have 8 laps on their tires when caution comes out, and basically stay out at the stage for that track position, where Ed, if he's, you know, the first car of the group that does pit, you know, then he just pits again and takes another set. They're not going to be short on tires tonight.
Well, not just that. There's no stage points tonight for these guys. This is, you know, win it or wear it. No stage points, no nothing. Let's see. This is why I love this one particular racing and chase format, because there's no points, there's no strategy with that. It's whoever's the fastest on that night is going to come away with the championship.
Jordan Miles coming down pit road.
Ed is falling back. It's going to be over 1.5 seconds now. So he is definitely on the shuttle bus with that right front. But that being said, Banks is definitely keeping Schaefer honest. One slip up by Schaefer, and Banks is going to be there. And, you know, yes, they are teammates, but I'll guarantee you Banks wants to win this just as much as Schaefer does.
Oh, they already told. Well, one of them told us that there's no teammates tonight. It's the gloves are off.
That's the way it should be.
And I do believe that the 54, Brandon Banks, he's going to be quick on the long run. But Schaefer can also be quick on the long run. I feel like Ed is already committed to staying out the full fuel run. If he was going to pit, he would have already done it, I would assume.
Well, and you also think about it too. He's just looking at live timing right now. He's about 1.7 behind the leader, but fourth place Brandon Park is
6 seconds back.
6 seconds back. So
stay out.
Stay out. Maintain your track position. Exactly.
Yep.
Stay out. Nurse at home. Maintain your track position. Reset at stage and from there. And also looking at the top 5 here, Josh Van Goor, again with a really good run, backing up that top 10 finish that he had last week. Don't want to say it too loud, but hopefully the monkey has finally gotten off of his back.
You better hope you just didn't curse him.
Oh, if I did, he's just gonna, he'll sit on my head without me having to kneel down because, like I said, he's about 7 foot tall. It's okay. He's just a big teddy bear.
They were able to step it out a little bit that last lap.
These guys are definitely fast, and I mean these Xfinity cars are DVR's bread and butter. This is what these guys like to run. This is pretty much all they run.
Another 10.5 that last lap. Looks like Schaefer's able to keep those tires under him longer than everybody else right now. Right now we have Brandon Hughes and Greg Rogers 1 lap down. I know Greg went to pit road, got tires. We have Cedric and Ed Morris Sr. 2 laps down. I did see Ed Morris Sr. on pit road earlier. And we have Jordan Miles 3 laps down, who's also on pit road. So right now we have 10 cars on the lead lap.
Speaking of new tires, you have Jordan Miles and I'm trying to see who that is. Cedric, both on new tires here. Just went by Brandon Banks trying to get their lap back to hardball.
The 49 just got lapped Jason Hastings. So now he's going to be a lap down. He's going to put 8 cars on the lead laps as Joseph Maines and Jason Hastings go lap down.
It looks like Ed Morris did come down and pit. So he just came out.
Well, they're about to their fuel run.
Yep. We're gonna see how much this undercut is worth here now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it will be worth quite a bit. Looking at these lap times,
too.
I assume it's probably going to be about 2 seconds a lap early on, as we see Schaefer come down pit road.
Yep. Try to mitigate some of the bleeding there.
Oh, he locked him up coming into pit road. And I think the 54 may have been speeding. We'll have to wait and see when he comes out, but he came in hot and then stopped real quick, which makes me wonder if he's going to get a black flag.
No black flags as of yet. I'm going to keep an eye on that for us, though.
he may have got it slowed down enough to give that time back. We'll have to see. Cody Riggs is coming out of pits as these two are coming in. Brandon Park into pits.
Van Gore in the pits.
Yep. Oh, I think they did fuel only.
That call doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Jason
For the
Hastings
simple fact that
has
we
a
have a
meatball.
ton of tires.
What happened to a 49 here? He got a meatball. Oh. I see what happened. Tried to get down to pit road and hit the barrels.
He pulled the mat.
He pulled the horns.
Pulled the horns.
But I do not see any black flags, so it looks like they must have gotten it slowed down just enough to not get that black flag. So at this moment, 6 cars on the lead lap. Ed Miller should be back on the lead lap here. Yep, Ed got back on the lead lap. Brandon Park will be the next one as these guys try to unlap themselves the hard way before the end of the stage.
As of right now, Morris is only a few tenths behind what will cycle out to be our leader as he makes the move under Banks. Banks goes right up the track, not going to fight it on old tires, obviously.
Well, Banks is on fresh tires.
Banks is on fresh tires.
Yep. Him and Schaefer came down pit road together.
Well, if the caution comes out now, we're going to blame it on Matt because he just said no C words on the chain. So.
Well, I mean, to our championship guys, I don't think it'll be an issue. Oh, there is a very slow 6 car, it looks like, in front of Greg Rogers and Cody Riggs. That could have been bad. But our championship drivers were able to get back on the lead lap, so should the caution come out, not really going to affect them too much. As Greg Rogers takes the lead.
Applause in the chat for Greg Rogers, RRL's favorite driver.
Oh, Brandon Hughes gets in the back of Cody Riggs. They keep it straight. Oh, Cody Riggs in the wall pretty hard. Coming off turn 4. It's like Ed Morris Jr.'s dad was holding him up a bit there as he was side by side with Cody Riggs. He gets him to the high line, lets him through, and I imagine he's going to try and make a run and get this lead before the stage. He's caught up to Greg. Greg came in pretty early, so his tires are quite a bit older than Ed's. Ed definitely has the short run speed as Ed makes a pass for the lead. And that will be our stage.
Well, solid running by Morris after the little burn on the tires and the scruff on the walls, but you know what, those bonus points, those stage points don't mean nothing right now.
Well, and that's going to be the interesting point right here, because we've got 7 cars on the lead lap. They can definitely run 50 laps per set of tires. We've seen it. But what's the call? Do you stay out here? No, Ed's coming in.
Everybody's coming in.
A couple of drivers are going to take the wave around, but that's kind of interesting because you could one stop it from here at lap 100. You'll probably be hating life because that car is going to be tight coming off the corners, but you could, in theory. And they're probably thinking, hell, we have the extra sets of tires, might as well use them.
Well, not just that. Like we were just talking about before, 2 seconds of fall off. I'm gonna put tires on my car every opportunity I have.
Yeah, but that 2 seconds of fall off was over 50 laps. So, you know, some of these guys have 10 laps on their tires. Their fall off might be a little bit, you know, if they were to stay out, but it's really not going to show too much until later in the run. But this allows them to stay out longer should they choose to, and then, you know, have fresher tires towards the end.
There you go. That, and I still have PTSD over a new tire situation at Rockingham in this exact series last year.
Yeah.
I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson. You get a chance to take tires, you take tires.
Oh, we've seen Ed fast on the short run. We'll see if he learns from that and saves his tires for a bit, or if he's going to push again and come in. You know, they're at lap 63 of 150. You know, 87 laps to go. Almost halfway right now. So you're still going to one stop it from here regardless, right?
Absolutely.
Do you push and, you know, if you're Ed, you know, your tires fell off pretty hard about 30 laps in. So do you save a little bit and come in about 40 laps, 45 laps? You know, what's the call to maximize your tires?
It's, to me as a driver, it's tough to say, because just looking at what happened that first run, you know, Ed was that rabbit and he got out, like way out front. But that being said, with the way Schaefer and Banks managed their run, they laid back for, I'd say, probably a good 20 laps, really protected that right front, and they ran Ed down like he was tied to a stump. So I'm thinking I save and then run it long
So you
this
can
way.
be aggressive on the back end.
Exactly. So when I come in and get that set of tires, I don't have to worry about saving because we're already there. Now it's time to go.
Well, and Ed has the advantage right now of that restart zone as well, so that's going to give him a little bit of cushion to get a little bit out front, so he doesn't have to push as hard early on as well.
We're going to ride with one of your drivers real quick, Bobby, on this restart for Josh Van Gore and see how he sees what in front of him.
Pace car is off.
Green flag, green flag.
Great jump by Ed Morris.
Yeah, that outside lane kind of checked up pretty hard. It looked like. If I'm Ed, I'm just kind of cruising right now. Let those teammates behind me battle, save my tires.
Exactly. Man, what do I always talk about? Manage that gap. You don't have to run away and hide. You just have to maintain it. And if I'm him, I've got a comfortable enough gap right now where I just want to maintain.
I really am surprised at how quickly these cars get spread out. There's one group that's tight, but at front and back, they're pretty well spread out.
Just the nature of this track in general, in real life as well. This was the first NASCAR race, IRL, that I ever went to, and we were sitting in the grandstands between 1 and 2. About 300 laps into the race, I fell asleep. Granted, I was also about 12 years old, but I fell asleep.
talking
pretty
about pack
tight.
racing. You got a good pack back there around 7 through 12.
That's
Yeah,
exactly what I was about to say. They're pretty
it's
tight
getting
back there.
spicy. It's definitely getting spicy, and Josh is screaming, "Get away from me!"
I'd be more concerned with Cody Riggs right now because we've seen that 95 really push that car. And now he actually passed 2 of them.
Yep. Means is definitely going for gold here. If I got my car number right. Yes, I did. Other thing is, Joseph Maines is actually sitting 1 lap down right now, so those guys letting him by really doesn't affect their outcome whatsoever.
Right.
He's in a totally different fight than you.
And you can hear right there with Morris, he ain't getting on full throttle when he comes out.
That's not a bad thing right now, I don't think. It's also protecting that right rear tire.
As they are getting real spicy back here right now.
Stepping into the wall off of turn 4. Yeah, if we're gonna have that C-word, it's gonna be in this pack.
Oh, without a doubt.
Banks overcooks that corner.
3 wide for a second back there between, let's see, between Riggs, Vachon, and Park it was.
That's what I meant to say, Brandon Park. Looked like he just either got really tight or got into the corner a little too hot and got up out of the racing groove.
And I think at that point, when you got 2 cars below you coming all 4 at this place, you just dump out of it.
Yep.
Have fun, boys. We'll catch you on the flip side.
Halfway through the race.
We're going to give a quick shout out to our sponsors, and hopefully we'll stay green flag till we come back.
And the first thing that's really worked for me to put me to sleep.
Helps relax me when I'm trying to go to bed. All just really spectacular.
It also helps you put yourself into a routine.
I feel like I'm drinking lemonade. You guys give it a shot.
It works! It works! It's good!
Just try it.
Well, luckily it stayed green flag.
As we were away, Brandon Schaefer was able to make the move on Ed Morris, but Ed Morris is not letting him go lightly, and Banks is closing up on the both of them.
Well, you know these three would come down to a battle. It's just a matter of time when they decide to start applying the pressure.
Well, if I'm Ed, I'm just following the 3 right now, learning what he's doing. You know, Ed watched him chase him down in that first stage, and just pretty much just able to keep the tires underneath him a lot longer. So Ed's probably just trying to learn right now.
Couldn't agree more. If I was in Ed's position, I'd be doing the exact same thing. Let's figure out what he's doing. And also in this position, kind of save your tires a little bit better too, because you have something to gauge off of as well.
Oh yeah, you can see where you're pushing the car versus where he's pushing the car. If you start closing up on him on corner exit, you're pushing the car harder than he is. There's a lot to be learned here, and you can kind of see it on track as well. He's kind of gapping the 54 right now.
I definitely am not going to count out Brandon Banks though tonight. He has really not put himself in a position to be in any battles. Kind of just riding there, keeping in touch with them. Where if they were to make a mistake, it would be his. But I think he would be, I don't want to say our dark horse, but you definitely can't count him out. I think he's playing the game right.
Well, and he knows his strength. He knows his strength is the long run. So I don't think he's gonna vary from that strategy. He's gonna be saving tires and hoping he can come back by these guys when they start battling.
Morris ain't giving him no slack. He's standing right there with them.
Drove it in a little bit deep there and ended up washing up the track, which gave Schaefer about a 2-car length gap there, though.
And kind of seen that in a couple of the corners where he closes up on right about the middle of the corner. So he definitely is driving it in a little deeper than Schaefer is right now. So he may be burning up his tires a little more.
I do like this line that they're running though, with pretty much diamonding up the corner. That will help you save the tire because you don't have as much wheel in it to try to keep it down at the bottom.
Oh, absolutely. It saves tire, but it also allows you to carry a lot more speed off of the corner.
And it also will get rid of that brutally tight off of 4 that we were experiencing in practice.
Yep.
You get a straighter run off.
Morris
that last lap, Banks was the fastest car actually with a 5.00.
Well, I do believe that right now Schaefer is actually holding up Ed Morris. You can see it right there in the corner, right through the center of the corner. He closes up to that bumper, has to lift. So I think that may be why Banks is closing up. I think Schaefer is kind of saving tires, and he sees what Ed's doing. Ed's following his every move. So if he saves tires a little bit, that's only going to help him. Ed's got a good run coming off the corner here. Decides to just kind of stay in line. But it almost does look like he's trying to set up the pass now.
Banks still putting down the fastest lap time out of those 3.
We're coming to 30 laps completed since stage. So we have what, Tony? Maybe about another 15 till pit stops?
You figure probably, 4 or 5 of those are under caution, so they could go a little bit longer here. I would say they could run all the way to probably lap, 110, 115 if they chose to. So maybe a little longer than what you're thinking, but I don't know if they're going to push it that long. I think 110 maybe.
That is really, really working right now. to try to find a way by, I think.
I think he's just trying to keep the pressure on, really, because I feel like there was times where he could have done a crossover and chose not to. I think he's just kind of trying to keep that pressure on. You can see him walking up the track a little more, getting that fresh air on that car, helping that car have a little more grip. See the 54 just gaining so much speed, so much time on corner entry. And judging by how, what Ed's doing, it looks like the 3 is actually holding him up right now.
It's going to come down to another barn burner for a championship at Xfinity, I'll tell you that much.
Well, yeah, it's kind of expected. These guys have been the class of the field all season. Davey Hendricks is the other one. He's not here tonight. But, these guys here, they're top in the finishing order every week. So we fully expected them to be, all 3 of them battling for the win here. And, I mean, nobody else really is even close. Greg Rogers is 8 seconds back. These guys are within a half a second of each other, and it's 8 seconds back to 4th place.
Schaefer starting to pull away, changed his lineup here a little bit.
Well, I think Ed may have burned up his tires a little bit too. You could see the way he was driving it on corner entry was telling me that he was really pushing that right front tire, getting the wall a little bit there, but that's going to open the door for Banks, really close that gap up. I think we're starting to see Ed struggle on the tires now. But I can tell you that there's no way that any of these 3 are going to pit till after, at a minimum, lap 100 to 105.
100%. You want to be able to make it without another stop unless there's a caution.
Right. But I mean, these guys are 40 laps in, call it 35 green flag laps. I really, I hate to say this, but I really do feel like Ed is in trouble here. He can't seem to keep the tires as well as these other 2 can. So how is he going to overcome that? He's got to find something that's going to benefit him. And I don't know what that move is, judging with the amount of laps we had. He would have to pit early, get back on the lead lap, pray for a caution to get in and use up another set, 20 laps to go or something like that, because right now he's just falling back.
Yeah, if we do get a late race caution, just the raw speed we've seen from Ed is mind-blowing. But that also being said, I don't think we've seen what Schaefer or Banks can do on a short run.
Right. They haven't tried to show us that. They haven't had a need to.
Nope.
Got some lap traffic here. This is going to be interesting for Ed. This might slow him down a little bit more. He's able to cut underneath the 7 and bring Banks a little bit closer. So lap 101, we have 8 cars. Oh, 54 had a big moment there. What happened? Did he just get loose, or was that?
Oh, he came out of the corner. Ed got under no money there, and I'm assuming that Banks didn't see him. And as soon as Ed moved, Brandon Hughes was just right there. That was definitely a Code Brown moment if I've ever seen one.
Back and looking at that was strange.
We have a few of our first takers down pit road.
32 got in the wall. Ed Morris actually got a little bit of, clipped him a little bit in the left rear, and Banks didn't see him there because he was right behind Ed and had to make a very evasive maneuver to not kill himself and the 32.
I'm going to say it's too many Brandons.
Yeah.
Brandon almost ran over Brandon. Well, which one? There's 4 of them.
7 coming out of pit road. So right now we got 7 cars on the lead lap. We have 2 cars 1 lap down, 4 cars 2 laps down, and 2 cars 3 laps down.
I think the only shot Ed has here is he's going to have to undercut Schaefer and pray for a caution.
Yeah, but he's got to get back to that lead lap before that caution comes out, so he can.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So he's in a very bad spot. I feel like he's got a little breathing room now, but I don't know. I don't see it unless something falls his way. You know, say he comes to pit road right as he gets into the pit road, the caution comes out. He can get out and stay on the lead lap. You know, something like that. $42 laps to go. Yeah, I just don't know the undercut right now. With the speed he loses on the long run, I just don't think, you know, it's worth a shot, but I just don't think it's gonna work out very well.
I don't either, but I think it's his only option at this point. Because you have to do something, because what you're doing right now, it's not going to work.
The only thing that I really feel is, like, realistically is his best option is to stay on strategy with these 2. And then hope for a late race caution. Everybody comes and gets tires, and Ed's faster on the short run, we think. You know, I mean, I don't know if there's another undercut strategy that works out for you as Brandon Park comes off the pit road.
No, Ed's got the short run call, so I mean, like you said, if it's a late caution, they're gonna pit for tires. That's what it's gonna come down to.
Yeah, but that caution has to come out, you know, after all the green flag pit stops have cycled through for it to actually work out. You know what I mean? Like, say, you know, lap 135 or 130 to 140, somewhere in there, after everybody's pitted. They've got some laps on their fresh tires, you know, and then maybe some of them have some strategy where, hey, do I stay out or do I come in? Well, Ed, we know, would come in. Greg Rogers coming out on fresh tires.
Yep, Van Gore just shot down pit road, so as of right now, the top 3 are the only cars that have not pitted yet for fuel and tires.
Well, and with Ed, right, we know he's fast on the short run, which means he needs.
Comes in.
And that was my fear for Ed, was he needed to get into pits before these guys.
Yep.
But now with Schaefer going into pit road, okay, what does he do now? Does he stay out and try to, you know, keep him, you know, hope the caution comes out to pin him laps behind? And then it's just a battle with him and Banks. Banks is coming.
Banks is going to peel off. So I think right now,
oh,
yeah.
Banks just wrecked himself on the barrels.
Oh, no. Absolute heartbreak for Brandon Banks.
Car's not too beat up, but he lost. Oh, yeah, it is. His whole right front fender's pretty beat in. So now you know Banks is pretty much an afterthought at the moment.
Well,
now I think you got to stay out as long as you can and hope for the caution. I think that's Ed's best choice.
Morris is just announced he's coming down pit road right now, as Banks actually is going to park it.
Yeah, that's...
Team is pushing the car behind pit wall, so his season is officially over.
And that's unfortunate for him. He's had a great season. I don't recall how many wins he's had, but he's had quite a few. and
Let
then
me go back and double
little
check that
mistake.
for you. Let's see here.
No, Schaefer just got one lap back, so
Yep,
Morris
yep.
is hoping this is his team don't goof.
Yeah, they're gonna come out.
Go ahead.
Schaefer's gonna be ahead when they come out, but Ed needs to get off pit road and get up to speed as fast as he can.
And just to answer the question, Banks came into tonight with 4 wins, and Schaefer came into tonight with, I believe it said 6.
That sounds about right. Now that's gonna put Ed quite half a lap down.
Yeah, that
So-
that undercut is massive here. Just those, you see, what, 2-3 laps was worth about half a track.
Morris, he's got his hands full. He's got to chase him down. He's got to close that 6-second gap.
Yeah, I think his best. I don't see that happening, right? I think what Ed is hoping for right now is he's hoping for about 10-15 lap run and then a caution. Then both of them will have to come in for tires, and I feel like Ed is probably. I guess we don't know for sure, but I feel like Ed is probably faster on the short run. Banks may have more in there, and he just isn't showing it yet. He's saving tires. We don't know. But realistically, that's probably Ed's best chance. You know, he's 6 seconds back right now. I don't think he's going to be able to overcome that. First, he's got to get around Greg Rogers. He's got 30 laps to do it.
He's staying in the mid-23s, and right there, he's fixing to overtake Rogers.
So Ed gained 7/10 last lap.
Ed is definitely in the position I was last year, where it was, I gotta give it everything it's got, with the exception of, unfortunately, he's got a lot more ground to make up.
Yeah.
And this track chews up tires a lot worse than Auto Club does.
Yeah, like if we stayed on the current time he's gaining, he would definitely catch Schaefer and go right around him. But those tires are going to wear. He's not going to be able to maintain the same speed. He's down to 4.2 seconds last time back, so he's already gained almost 2 full seconds. But as he pushes that car and those tires start falling off, he's gonna be struggling. Gain another 7/10 there.
Too many laps left. And, you know, my deal at Auto Club last season, we had maybe 10 laps to go. So
Right.
it was give it all you got, to heck with saving. You didn't need to save at this point. Right now, I think what's going to happen, Schaefer is going to go ahead and conserve his stuff, let Morris run him down, and by the time Morris gets there, his stuff's going to be so burnt up that Schaefer's just going to be able to drive away.
Yeah, but if he can get around him, maybe he can play defense. Maybe that caution does come out. You know, I still think Ed's only realistic option here is to push. He's got to push. He's got to close that gap down.
Oh, no doubt about it. He doesn't have another choice. .2 that last lap.
So he's gaining, but not nearly what he was early on, right?
And you took the thought right out of my mind, Bobby, where Schaefer may just be like, hey, I'm going to save my tires, let them catch me and burn them up, and I'll capitalize on it.
Oh, yeah, why wouldn't you?
I said it earlier tonight. Just manage the gap.
He's losing a little bit, but it's not, it's not worth burning his stuff up. He's going to let that gap get, maybe to a second, and then he's going to start driving a little faster. I don't, 2.5 seconds back, there's no need to push it yet. We're already seeing the gains get smaller and smaller. That time it was a 10.
But look who's got in front of him.
Yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue. But should a caution come out, then we would have a race.
Oh, absolutely. For selfish reasons, I almost hope that we see a caution because I want to see these guys both play it out on the table.
6 cars on the lead lap right now. 2.4 seconds last time by. 1.9. Ed found a half of a second that last lap. Schaefer did have to pass a lap car, but half a second still quite a bit.
I'm pretty sure at this point Ed is screaming, "Get out of the way, Dad! Move!"
Well, and we saw him get out of the way for Schaefer, so.
No, absolutely. Ed Sr. is an absolute class act.
You can see him. He's within striking distance.
1.7. But there's still 20 laps to go.
And a whole bunch of lap cars ahead.
Yeah.
Almost had another half a second there that lap.
But they're pretty well spaced out, though, too. If you can time it, where you're not passing these lap cars in a bad spot, like on the exit of the corner. Like
what Ed's going to deal with right here.
No, he was lifted. I think that really didn't hurt him too much.
Well, another 4.5.
And 9 tenths last time by. So now Schaefer's probably going to start pushing, right? Ed's burned up his tires. Schaefer's going to put a little more into it now. 6 tenths.
We knew it would come down to a shootout between these two, but it's going to be interesting to see how close one it's going to be.
Five tenths, half a second. He gained a tenth that last lap. Tires are still holding on for him. There's still 17 laps to go.
Could Ed have been playing possum?
Maybe.
If he was, he had everybody fooled.
Yeah, he only gained a half of a tenth this last time. So we're seeing the interval get smaller, but not in the margins that we did before. But I do suspect that we're going to see those intervals start getting larger, further apart here soon. I just don't know how long those tires can hold on.
Well, with Davey unfortunately not being here tonight and Banks already being a DNF, the worst that Ed's going to finish in the championship is second. So I'd give it absolutely everything I got here. If I wreck, I wreck. I went out swinging.
Yep, he lost a little bit that last lap, and I suspect that we've seen the extent of what his tires can do. Oh, he gained a tenth. Okay, we might have more of a battle here yet.
And Morris ran a pretty good faster lap than Schaefer did that time. So this is turning pretty much into a chess match.
I'll tell you what, though, a late race caution changes this whole race. I don't think we'll get it. I don't think there's enough cars on track for that to happen, but if it were to happen.
As soon as you say that, Hughes darted down the track. He uses spinning pit road.
I don't know what he's doing.
Leader's about to come up onto the back of Cody Riggs here.
That could definitely make it interesting. I think Cody will do everything he can to stay out of the way, but not a good time to be, passing a car for Schaefer. Right on corner exit there, that may have checked him up a little bit.
You can see right there, Schaefer or Morris has been putting down faster laps. Out of the past 5, he's had 4 faster ones.
Interval down to 3.5 tenths. 8 laps to go.
Boys, I'm going to say it. It's going to get spicy.
Ed is driving it in deep into the corner. Gained a little bit, just still quite a bit for the few laps we have. He's going to need help.
Yeah, he needs to gain, I'm going to say, a quarter tenth or more, maybe about half a tenth, a lap to get to him and have a realistic shot.
He's going to need Schaefer to either make a mistake or, have to pass a lap car at a bad point. Something to slow Schaefer down to get him closer. But I just don't think
for Ed off the corner there.
Of course, Schaefer's coming up on his teammate, so that's...
Yeah, I get out of the way, I'm sure. I think Ed's falling off now. Yeah.
Yeah. Another 10th going the other way now.
I think the tires have,
Tires said uncle.
Yeah. Yeah, lost a little bit that lap. Oh, but here's the situation. He's got 2 lappers in front of him. But now he's got a teammate running interference too. Yeah.
And I think that's going to be about seal it there. Unfortunately for Ed, unless we see a caution here.
Yeah, I think that's what it would take, but we're going to have the white flag here pretty quick, so chances are that's not going to happen.
Brandon Parks edged up P3. Vanguard with the right now as it falls will be a top 5.
See the white flag this time by.
I gotta say, fantastic run by both Schaefer and Morris.
Oh, absolutely. Schaefer did everything he needed to do. He played that gap, didn't abuse his tires. Ed knew what he had to do, push that car as hard as he could. Just didn't have enough tire left at the end.
Just came up a little bit short, but he can definitely say he gave it everything he had.
Absolutely. So we had 5 cars that finished on the lead lap. Brandon Schaefer gets the checkered flag. Ed Morris in 2nd. Brandon Park in 3rd. Greg Rogers in 4th. And Josh Vanguard gets a top 5. 4th? Did they maybe change at the line here?
I think Vanguard got by him.
Looks like he did. Josh Vangor finishes 4th.
He actually was apologizing to Greg for something here. I'm going to go back and take a look at it. Greg got in the wall, and Josh, regardless of that, was going to go in the wall also. So those two guys pushing it for everything they had on the white flag lap coming to the checkered.
And they had nothing to lose.
Yep. Best finish all season for Vangor.
I don't feel like Bangor did anything wrong there.
No, not at all. That simple racing incident,
Yeah.
but it shows you how bad both of those guys wanted it.
Yeah.
Well, Schaefer, you just won it, man. Congratulations on it.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Well, you don't sound happy with somebody who just won a championship, man. Let's try this again. Congratulations, Schaefer. You just won it.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm just concentrating on this burnout right now. Yeah, that was a fun race, man. I thought Brandon was gonna save tires better than I did, but he ended up hitting the wall, going into pits, and messing his race up there, man. I was really looking forward to racing with him, but it kept me honest there in the middle of the run, man. I was trying to save the right front, and he was pushing me a little harder than I wanted to go.
Yeah, we saw it live. I mean, you had the. It seemed like Banks had the fastest speed on the long run. You were right there with him, and then Ed just had the short run speed. The lack of cautions definitely helped you out, I would say, for sure.
Yeah, I was enjoying the long green flag runs, honestly.
Yeah, it looked like you just Ed pushed his car hard early. I don't think he could compete with you. Anybody could really compete with you in the long run, except for maybe Banks if he wouldn't have had his little mishap on pit road.
Yeah, it was that was definitely a fun race, man.
Bobby, what do you got for him? You know, we've been watching them all this whole season.
Just all I'm gonna say is hats off to you, Brandon. You ran an incredible season, and you ran this race to absolute perfection. So again, hats off and congratulations on the championship.
I appreciate it, fellas. I really do. It's fun being in here with you guys, man. I appreciate all y'all do, and yeah, it's a great league to be a part of.
Well,
Win number 7 on the season. That's most by anybody.
I love the Xfinity car, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, your plans for next season? What's your PBR's guys plans for?
I'm gonna, if I can, I'd like to stay in Xfinity, man. I love the car, and I'd rather stay down here with the guys in Xfinity, man. There's a lot of great guys in here that I enjoy racing with. So I would rather stay in the Xfinity series, honestly.
Well, we're definitely tracking that, and I don't see why you wouldn't be able to stay in the Xfinity series. So y'all will be kind of holding the torch for next season. You'll be the gauge for these guys coming up, trying to make a name for themselves. So should be interesting to see.
Absolutely, I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, man, it's been a long season. You know the routine up here.
Yeah, shout out to Jabbit PC Cutscene for sponsoring the league. Shout out to you guys for putting on a great broadcast. Throw a shout out to Ed Morris and Davey and Banks for all making the Final Four. I know Davey was at the actual real race today, so he couldn't make it. But Ed, that was fun racing with Ed there, man. He, like I said, he kept me on my toes and made me an honest person tonight. So he made me save a lot more than I wanted to. But shout out to Reaper Speed Labs and all the DBR guys, man, and Paul Set Up Shop.
All right, brother, we're gonna send you on your way, and I guess we'll be looking forward to you next season, coming back
All right, man,
to defend that crown.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Well, that was 150 laps of a whole lot cleaner than I honestly was expecting. But he had a good season. Came up about 1 second too shy of it. And walk us through. What your mentality coming into it as the race progressed.
I don't know. I mean, I came into this race kind of nervous. I knew Schaefer was going to be fast. I knew Banks was going to be fast. It was going to be a tough race. And anything can happen here at Dover. Um, Fortunately, I mean, it was caution free other than the stage. So I mean, we didn't have any of that. So it was all down to long run speed and pitch strategy, and I kind of felt like I had the right strategy there toward the end. I just didn't have enough. But it was, yeah, I mean, it was white knuckle the whole time because you had to push it through the corners and you had to just, you had to execute your line just right. Otherwise, you'll come up and cream that wall out of four, man. There was a couple times where I just barely brushed it. And you hit it one time and you're done. Your speeds, your car ain't gonna drive worth crap anymore. So I mean, it was tough the whole race.
Well, your plans for next season? Are you staying to fight for the crown one more time, or are you making that graduation up to Cup?
As much as I'd like to, I plan on moving up the Cup. I've established my own team, and I'm bringing Davey Hendricks and my dad over with me for a Cup team, Primetime Motorsports. We're also going to have some guys in the ARCA series too. Just going to get things started up and get it rolling and start filling out some rosters and see how we do in the Cup car. Cup car is going to be a whole new world for me. I don't have a whole lot of experience in the next gen car, so next season will be a lot of learning and um, just seat time, just getting seat time and learning the different lines and the way that car drives and with that fifth gear transmission, that's going to play a different factor into the racing versus these cars here. So it'll be fun. We're looking forward to it. Um, I don't know who all is moving up with us. I don't know if Schaefer's staying here, if he's moving up too or not. I don't know, but I've heard there's a lot of good competition up in the Cup Series, so we're looking forward to seeing how we match up there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a very good season. I'm excited for you and Davey and Senior to move up. Pretty stout field. Tell me, Ed, what'd you need there at the end?
I don't know. I mean, you want to say more speed, but I was hoping that Brandon would make a mistake there at the end, or just catch some lap cars at the wrong time, which we both kind of were in some situations where we get through them clean, and then other times we kind of get held up just a little bit. But it just everything kind of played in both of our favors. He executed flawlessly, man. He had a heck of a race. I mean, I don't see where that guy made a mistake all night, and it shows. The only thing maybe I could have did differently a little bit if I could have stayed with him a little bit closer before that last pit stop. To kind of keep that time gap a little bit closer, or just stay it out a few laps longer. Because I was able to get within that half a second range, fairly early in that run. I had a lot of laps where I ran kind of pretty much right in that bubble, that shadow of him. So maybe if I would have stayed out a little bit longer, I'd have had a little bit more tire for him toward the end and been able to get him. But who knows? It was a good race. Anyhow.
Oh, absolutely. Tell me how bad you were praying for a caution there with about 10 to go.
I didn't want a caution. I mean, I had good short run speed, but Brandon does too. Especially that first run. Where I kind of took off. That was just kind of, that's a good opportunity to kind of test how much you can push the car. How long will the tires actually last? And it didn't take him long through the run to catch me. But yeah, it would have been tough. If we would have got a caution there at the end. I mean, we were both good on tires, so yeah, it would have I don't know if it would have ended so cleanly, just because it's Dover. Dover's real tight, and door panels and stuff probably would have been used. Just it's hard to get off the corner beside somebody here.
Yeah, I feel like you were faster on the short run, but we also never saw Schaefer really push his car early. So it's really hard to judge, but it would have been definitely interesting to see
Oh yeah,
how you guys would have matched up there on a short run.
yeah. Maybe one of those other guys too that might have had some short run speed that we just didn't really see because we just stayed green the whole time. So you never know.
Well, man, finished second in the race, almost had that championship, had a hell of a season. Started off pretty rocky for you, but you fought back. Able to make it to the championship overall. Can't ask for a whole lot more for the season as a whole. You know the deal. Shout out to yours.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it has been an up and down season, but yeah, we showed up every week and just kept giving it our best. And we come up one shy tonight, but it wasn't due to lack of trying. So Schaefer's a good driver, and I commend him for the championship. He earned it. He ran a hell of a race and a hell of a season. So great job to that guy and his team. But shout out to everybody at North South, all those guys that brought me on. They brought me on 2 seasons ago, I think about 2 seasons ago in the ARCA car, and great opportunity to run for those guys, Matt and all those guys over there. Real good to work with. Showed me a lot, so I appreciated all those guys over there. Everybody here at Relentless, Tony, all the admins, all of our sponsors, you guys in the broadcast booth. I know how tough it is to make this stuff work every week. So appreciate you guys for putting this on and giving us the opportunity to have good, clean racing and a great league to run in. So thank you.
Of course, we're gonna send you on down the road so you can actually start getting ready for Cup.
Appreciate it, man.
Well, if fate would have went better for him, he would have still wouldn't have won it, but he'd been one of the final 4 in it. And Bobby, I believe you know this driver just a little bit, maybe familiar with him somewhat.
Yeah, I'd say I know him just a little bit. Brandon, congratulations on 3rd place tonight. Take us through your race. Uh-oh, I don't think Brandon's here.
I'm thinking. I'm not hearing a Brandon. Well, with that said, Bobby, team owner, I'll let you run it for a little bit.
Yeah, not too sure. I actually just shot him a text message, but no, I mean just going through this season with all of these guys. I couldn't be any more impressed by all of our Xfinity drivers here. See if we have Brandon now though. Brandon, you got a copy?
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, now we got you, brother.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys.
No, you're all good. So 3rd place run tonight. Take us through your night.
Yeah, thanks. I knew I definitely wasn't as fast as those top 3 guys. I don't think I really put in the practice to be. So, I was just trying to run my race, and that first run, I kind of hurt my stuff up a little bit. So I tried to take it really easy in that last stage because I knew we'd have 2 long runs. So just try to be conservative, and like I said, it definitely wasn't fast enough for a first or a second, but kind of race against the guys that are around me, and I was happy to kind of come away with a 3rd. So, all in all, a good way to end the season, I think.
So one thing I got to ask you as a team owner, your teammate Josh Van Gore, how happy is he right now? Has he stopped jumping up and down?
He was definitely feeling happy. You should get him in here. I once I got around Greg, I know Greg pitted. I don't know. I think it was like 9 laps ahead of Josh, and I could tell he was kind of his tires were wearing out. And I said, Josh, you gotta catch him. And so I was more ecstatic when I crossed the line, looking up in the mirror to see if Josh was able to get him for a fourth. So really happy for the team to come away with a third and a fourth, and Cody finished the year strong with a 10th as well. So all in all, a great effort for the guys.
Absolutely. Tony, I'll hand it over to you if you have any questions for our third place finisher.
Yeah, Brandon. So just barely missed the championship for coming third tonight. Give me a rundown of the whole season. You know, tell me what your thoughts are. I know you're coming to Cup next season. What are your expectations for that? That type of stuff.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way the season went. I would have, I finished I think fifth in points. Didn't make the final four. I was able to pull a win at a road course that probably shouldn't have gone my way, but I just happened to be a little fortunate. I would have liked to run maybe a little bit better on some of the intermediate tracks, but overall, really happy for the season. Really looking forward to kind of move up to Cup. Looking forward to move up and being able to race with Bobby and you, Tony, and Josh, and kind of the whole Exile team. So yeah, I think a good momentum. My concern is, I don't think I have quite as much experience in the next gen, so I got to get to practice it over the next few weeks. But all in all, happy with the season and looking forward to what's next.
Well, I'll give you some advice with the next gen. It's the same advice I gave Bobby. Practice spinning that car out and how to save it.
Yeah, I know that.
Literally, we'll take you into a session and I'll show you exactly what Tony meant, and it made a world of difference.
That's perfect.
The next gen is totally different than anything you're ever gonna drive. It's completely backwards to what we're all used to. But once you get a hold of it, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, for sure. You're definitely looking forward to it. So yeah, it'll be a good season come up, and looking forward to kind of racing with the whole new crew and everything. So.
All right. Well, you've been up here quite a bit this season as well. So want to hand it over to you. The floor is yours. Friends, family, sponsors.
Yeah. First, I want to thank you, Bobby, for letting me be part of the team this year, and it's been great running with Cody and Josh and Drew and everything, and the whole team. It's been a really fun season. Yeah, thanks to the my sponsor, Two Tones Brewing Company. If anyone's ever in Columbus, Ohio, stop by and see those guys. Also want to thank XLD Sports, Ancient World Gaming, Cutscene Sleep. The whole deal. It's been a great season. Thanks to I should shout out my wife. So thanks for dealing with the kids and everything while I'm racing on these Monday nights. So yeah, it's been a great season. Thanks to the broadcasters and the admins. This is one of the only leagues I've really done on iRace, and it's been just a great experience, being in it for I think 2.5 seasons now. Everybody here has been super fun to race with, and it's been a really the league's been running really well, and so I look forward to kind of continue it. So yeah, thanks to all you guys as well.
Well, as a team owner, I'll say this: it's been an absolute pleasure to have you, and definitely proud of you, bud. You ran an absolute hell of a season.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, looking forward to battling next year.
Absolutely. We'll let you get back down to the team to celebrate. Great podium tonight, and we will see you in a few weeks running in the Cup Series.
All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You as well.
Guys, it's been a long 22 race season, and y'all stuck it out, man. Closing thoughts, y'all, this whole season, how everything played out.
Well, I can tell you I was pleasantly surprised. I was a little hesitant on this Xfinity series just because of the amount of drivers we had coming up. This was the first time where we had a full field initially, 40 cars. A few, have not raced. Some, not showing up on a regular basis, whatever it be. But, that's a first for this league, and we were pretty unsure of how it was all going to play out. But, how many races did we have zero cautions? they set the bar high this season, and I'm gonna steal a line from Bobby. I'm proud of them. You know, they just kind of goes to show you the caliber of drivers that they all are, and just kind of eased my personal hesitance on having such a large field. A lot of races, a lot of clean driving, a lot of battling back and forth. We really saw who the cream of the crop was. They rose to the top, and we saw them in the championship here, the round of 8, all the way through our playoffs. I'm excited for what's to come for next season with all the drivers moving to different series or staying put for some of them. It should be rather interesting to see how it all plays out. Every new season comes with its new challenges, but I'm excited for our future as a league. I'm excited for the future as with SBRN and all of our admins, our different series, as we continue to grow and bring in good drivers and just put something together where people can come drive, have fun, not have caution fest races. Definitely been a very, very good season for this Xfinity series and for the league as a whole.
And I'll even go a step further than that. I came in looking at this season where I was like, man, this is going to be rough. And, I am so happy to say these guys proved me wrong. And the ones that are moving up to the Cup Series, and even the ones that are staying or moving down, every single one of them proved this season they absolutely have earned the right to be here. And I would say dang near every single one of them has proven that they deserve to be in that Cup Series. Now, whether they move up or not, that's their decision. But just again, like I said, hats off to everybody in the Xfinity series this season. It's absolutely incredible.
Guys, on behalf of myself, SBRN Relentless Racing, we've survived another season, a new champion. Schaefer's staying, looking to defend the crown next season. So, till we fire back up, I believe it's going to be mid second week, March 11th, 13th, somewhere in there.
March 18th,
like
I
that.
believe. No, I'm sorry. March 21st will be the start of the next season. But we got 3 more champions to crown this week. Tune in tomorrow night. The Truck Series heads to Charlotte for their championship race. Different little playoff format for them. It's not just based off of one race. It's based off of 4 total points accumulated. So there are some pretty close battles and points to see who will crown the champion for that series.
Got Cup Wednesday. I believe they're going to be here at Dover also. And that came down to, I believe that's going to be Matt, Zach, Bucher. Who were the other 2?
That would be Kevin Jordan and Tim Harmon.
So we know Matt and Tim have a good love-hate relationship out on the track. So, and then Thursday night, ARCA, I believe they're at Charlotte also.
Absolutely. Kind of another one where it's kind of a different format. It's total points over 4 races. There's some pretty close battles in there for that championship as well. It should come down to the wire.
Everybody, until next time, Bobby, Tony, appreciate y'all sticking it out this season, and we will see y'all next season with Xfinity. Till then, y'all stay safe.